Last time you remember, my building had collapsed. We'd had an extreme snowstorm, and the building that we had clearly wasn't up to carrying that snow. And obviously we had a long process of clearing the site, putting a new building up, and we're now at the stage, 2 days ago we actually got the cows into the building, and shortly we'll be starting to train them to use our milking robot. The new building was put up by SNA from Barnard Castle. We're very happy with the building. We feel as though all the engineering features have gone into the building to make the building a far more secure building, with stiffness and extra bracing where necessary, which we feel was obviously the original building should have had. Overall, the building now is a much more substantial building, and feel as though coming up to a winter where it's expected to be quite severe, the building will cope with whatever weather we get. The service we received from SNA was very good. Jeff Simpson came on site, realised the situation we had and acted very quickly. We got a quote and a package put together for clearing the site, new building fabricated and erected, which was all done very quickly. We feel as though that the service was excellent. Couldn't be happier.
Having received the phone call to come and have a look at the damaged building, we then proceeded to submit a tender. We were successful with that tender. In the tendering process, we tried to salvage as much of the original building as we could to keep the costs as low as possible. And having been successful, then proceeded to design the building correctly. We then manufactured the building, and while this was proceeding, we cleared the site of all the debris and prepared the site for erection. The main changes to the design were we increased the size of the columns, we kept the rafters the same, but we increased the length of the haunches, and we put in rafter stays, and most importantly there were stiffeners and bracings, additional and heavier bracings went in to improve the stability of the building. Let's go and I'll point these out to you now. Interestingly, this is a good place to start the tour of the building, because the farmers managed to salvage some of the roof and side bracings and use them in the building here. He straightened them out, and these were the side bracings that came from the top of the column behind me down to the base of this column here. And this size of tube has been replaced by 2 K bracings. These tubes were also used in the roof of the building and in the gable bay, but only at one end. These have now been replaced with bigger bracings, as you see, at both ends of the building. One of the most important features that were missing from the original building was this stiffener that connects the inner flange with the outer flange of the columns. That was a primary reason for the collapse of the building. Because of the altitude of this particular site and the snow and wind loads expected, we've put a Morris stiffener in here to stiffen up the the web of the building, and we've added a stiffener again at the top in line with the rafter. We've also increased the length of the bottom haunch. We have added rafter stays, and we have added an eaves tie to connect the columns together, all of which were missing from the original building. So that's a quick tour of the building, and hopefully shows the features of good design. It should be reassuring for the industry to know that in 2013 all agricultural buildings will be required to carry the CE mark. This is something that will be policed by the trading standards and is a legal requirement on all building manufacturers to ensure that their buildings will be designed to this standard.